Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Recovery Snack brought to you by me, Chris at Recovery Concepts. Hope this finds everybody well. Um, Thursday, March 12th. How quickly it goes. All right. Let's dive in here. Reading from the book of God Grant Me, another Hazelton meditation book. Thursday, March 12th, quote for the day, for the morning here, from Frank Bucham. Could be Buckham. Buchmam. Frank Buchman. You know what? It's a quote. There's enough in the world for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Frank sounds like he knows what's going on. Ours is an illness of more. More, more, more. The greed of addiction decays the soul and leaves us to desperately try to fill the hole that is left behind. But there is never enough. The greed of addiction also keeps us running from the responsibility of a relationship with our higher power. Over time, we're left with great spiritual pain. Recovery asks us to replace greed with gratitude. If we are sober today, that is enough. We should be grateful. If we can make one person smile today, that is enough. We should be grateful. If we have a place to rest our head and food to nourish our body, that is enough. We should be grateful. As our needs are met, we give thanks instead of demanding more. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me become a person who is thankful for the gift of life and sobriety. Help me give thanks for the challenges as well as the easy times. Help me to see that I am enough. Today's action. Today I will make a list of all things for which I am grateful. I will give thanks to my higher power, especially for my sobriety. Man, oh man, oh man. Our illness is ours is an illness of more. More, more, more. The greed of addiction decays the soul and leaves us desperately to fill that hole that's left behind. Okay, I don't have to think too long about how I can relate today. I get that 100%. Um, back in the day, if I had a headache, like way back, even as a kid, if I had a cold or something, and somebody gave me a cough medicine, I would try to go get three more. I remember being in an HVAC class in high school when I was a kid and being at my grandmother's house in Dunbar, West Virginia, and just strutting, trying to figure out how to fix her refrigerator. She was having refrigerator problems, and they had coffee, and I wasn't a coffee drinker. I might have been 16, 17 years old. And I sat there and, wanting to feel grown and all that, wanting to help and all that. It got me a cup of coffee. But as I drank my coffee, I must have had 4 or 5 cups more as I just pulled the refrigerator out and looked at it and worked on it. The point is, one wasn't enough. If one was supposed to be good, then obviously if I had 10, it would be better. And for me, that transposed over to professional life, romantic life, relationship life. If your average Joe had 2 or 3, to make sure everybody understood, it was a perception thing of me. I was always entangled very intricately with your perception of me because I didn't feel that great about me. I needed to make sure that you did. And I understand that about me now. So I would burn myself out, man, and keeping up with the Joneses. When it comes to drugs and alcohol, I know why I did that. More. It made me. It took away a bunch of feelings I didn't want to feel, and it made me feel like the social lubricant aspect in the beginning, man. It was just heaven on earth. I thought, the way that I felt. But the concept of more must be better. I can relate to. I'm not 100% sure anybody ever taught me that. I think it was just how I viewed it. That if 1 or 2 was good, that meant things were good. Then I needed 5 or 6, and I think a lot of that came down again to my need for others to perceive me as being good, on top of the game, winning, whatever the case may be. Keeping up with the Joneses is a good one that I use in my groups when I'm teaching groups. I damn near died trying to make sure that I kept up with the Joneses. I was crushed inside, man. But I had a newer car. I had a house. Knew this, knew that. If it was new, I thought that I needed to have it. Like that, the iPhone comes to mind. Every time a new iPhone comes out, you have one for 10 months or 14 months or whatever. And, in my world, I would go get another one because it was new. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the phone. And by the way, nothing wrong if that's how you choose, to spend your monetary dollars for whatever reason or whatever. For me, it was the perception thing, which for me, I believe makes it unhealthy. It wasn't about the need of anything new. It was more so the perception that I could, and I made sure that you knew it. And somehow that made me okay. And that's a crock of shit because I was about as far from okay as you can get. And I did not understand the correlation between my feelings and disillusionment and the abhorrence I had toward myself, to where I didn't even like me very much, and placing that in the decayed holes of spaces that my addiction ate up, whether that be emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever the case may be. I tried to plug my hollowness of a lack of a spiritual connection and a lack of a wholesome, good feeling about me with things, with material items. And it wasn't a very good patch, we'll just put it that way. Never made me, it might feel good for a minute, but the emptiness always came. So today my practice is to keep close to my higher power. Gratitude about whatever it is going on. I can get grateful about the most amazing things. Now, I don't mean instantaneously. Maybe something shows up and it pisses me off, or I don't understand why this occurred, or whatever the case may be. But if I apply my tools and I work my program and I get back close to my God, it's not far and it's not long before I figure that there's a lesson. It's a blessing or a lesson, one way or the other. There is something there that I am supposed to see, and there is a way for me to trudge through this, or jog through this, or run through this, or walk and smile through this, and become a better person, and find the pieces of it for me that are supposed to be part of my journey and part of my growth. And when I get to viewing it that way, more times than not, the answer shows up. So, anyway, rambling. Thank you for joining. Please like, subshare, how you like that? Not enough coffee. Share, subscribe, tell a friend, whatever you're moved to do. And if nothing else, just please come on back and join me tomorrow. Appreciate having you. Have a blessed day. Stay safe, and we'll do it again Friday, Lord willing. Take care. Bye.